I'm coming home, I'm coming home. Tell the world I'm coming home. Let the rain wash away all the pain.
I mean, we know what the right things to say, but at the end of the day, someone has a perception, and you can tell them the truth over and over and over again, and if they can't see it, I mean, our loved one could be standing right beside them whispering in their ears, I love you, you're dead, come with me.
Right.
And she will not see it.
Right.
You know?
Denial is not just
Denial.
in Egypt.
Hey, yeah, I mean, you stupid. That hit me like a ton of bricks. Talk about perspective. That was funny. It's like paradigm shift. Oh, denial. Ah, I got it. Okay. But speaking of that conversation with the girl, that was our first experiment with, I don't know what we're going to call it, the absent ghost box session. I don't know what the right term for it is, but it's a ghost box session where you have, ear wax plugs in your ear and bulletproof earmuffs on your head, so you can't hear anything except for your own breathing. As a matter of fact, you have to kind of slow that breathing down so it doesn't, interfere. But it seemed, from what I saw, the responses were even better in that environment than it was with having a ghost box.
Right.
And it goes back to some of the things that we've been talking about. We haven't really put it online or anything yet, but people have a tendency to believe that the miracle's in the box. Mm-hmm. And it's really not. The miracle really is God working through people for a certain purpose.
Right.
It's nothing to do with you or me. It's way bigger than that. It's way bigger. What we do is the double-blind process, double-blind ghost box. And what that means is that we have a questioner, and that's going to be Dave. And Dan, I will be the listener. So I'll be listening to the ghost box. And what we've had is a feedback where they say, well, even though he has headphones in his ears, he can possibly hear what your guys' questions are. I can assure you we're not. We have special headphones that go directly into the ear. You can't hear anything. Mm-hmm. But what they did is a friend of mine said, get some canceling sound, so you can put these on. I can only hear myself talk and breathe.
Right.
But I can't hear anything you guys are saying. So we'll put the headphones in. And we'll put this over top. Now, the other thing is that people have said that people who use ghost boxes can learn to become able to hear spirits. And I didn't think that was true, but apparently it is true, because I'm like Whoopi Goldberg with spirits coming in all over the place 24 hours a day.
Hey, where all these ghosts come from? You can hear them too?
Hear them? Can I hear them? I hear them in the morning. I hear them in the evening. They're coming into the shower. Sam, what the hell did you do to me? Did you tell every spook in the world you met about me? I got spooks from Jersey coming in here. There's stuff going on you wouldn't believe. I don't even believe.
So what I'm going to try to do is put in these, which will be, earplugs. I'll put this on top of that and see if there's anything that I can hear. And we'll do that exactly the same way we have been doing with the ghost box. We'll be doing that double blind. I've never done this, so I have no idea if I'm going to hear anything. Most of the time when I hear something, it's usually when there's some kind of ambience in the room. So a fan or water or something like that, and then it's clear as day I can hear it. I've never done it in total, absolute, complete silence. So I have no idea if it's going to work or not.
All right.
And see if anything happens. All right, I won't be able to hear you because I'm putting these in my ears.
Huh?
And then on top of that, I'll be putting that on. So I literally will not be able to hear anything.
All right. Is there anyone here that would like to speak with us tonight?
The problem is I can hear myself breathing. That's going to make it a lot harder.
Can you tell us your name?
I can hear a woman.
Can you tell us who you are?
It's time to go.
Where do you need to go? Or are you asking me to go?
You go.
Where do you... What's wrong? Are you afraid of us?
Get out of here.
Who's speaking right now?
It was a man. Said Maria.
Maria. Is your name Maria?
Now the man's talking.
Sir, what's your name?
Please go.
Who's asking us to go?
I don't like this. You can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you. We do this.
She can see me. Us.
Who can see you?
The old lady.
Why are you scaring her? Do you mean to scare her?
No.
What are you trying to communicate?
Yes.
If you're trying to communicate, let me know what you want to communicate because we're listening. But you need to talk to us and let us know what it is that you're trying to say.
Leave.
We're not going anywhere right now. You're scaring this nice old lady. Do you know that? Do you know you're scaring her? Why this house?
It's our house.
You know, if you can't hear me, this is really critical for conversation right now.
I want to say it's
Oh,
solid
I live here.
communication.
how long have you been here? How long have you lived here?
Us.
No. Who's us? Let's start right there. Who? How many of you are there? Who's here? Can you answer that?
Leave.
We're not leaving right now.
Go. Go.
We need to know why you're here. You used to live here, but you don't live here anymore. Do you know that you're dead? Do you know that you're dead?
I'm hearing a heartbeat.
Do you think you're alive?
It's beating faster.
Do you think you're alive?
What do you mean?
Are you alive or are you dead?
The heartbeat. I can hear a heartbeat. No.
You know you're dead?
No. No.
Do you think you're alive?
Who is this?
Who do you say that I am?
I don't know.
Why are you here?
I heard a yell. Like a girl go, ah.
You say you live here, but do you realize you don't live here anymore? You say you're...
How's that?
Very good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I can't wait for you to see the
Huh?
video. Yeah, I can't wait for you to see the video.
Okay. Is it making any sense?
You need to see the video. You say that you're trying to communicate. Tell me.
I have to breathe like really shallow, man, because it's like so freaking loud. It's like I'm gonna go like Darth Vader.
Tell me what you need to say. Because now you have a open communication line.
Now the guy's just going go, 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 go.
If
He's
you really,
like
if you really
stuttering.
if you really wanted to communicate, why won't you talk to me? Do you have something to say to her directly?
You hear us
Yeah.
loudly.
Yeah.
How is that possible?
Don't worry about how it's possible. Just understand that it's for a limited time only.
Wait.
She can't do that.
He's asking. Here. Come with us.
Who's speaking right now?
No, we're not. We are not. We are not. She's screaming now.
Why don't you want to go? Are you comfortable here? Is this where you're comfortable?
She's screaming. We are not. Like she's crazy.
Are you the little girl that people see?
I'm gonna have to change gears because she's off in Nunu land somewhere. Saying we are not, screaming. She's off in a rant. Okay, the guy, I can hear the guy.
I'm talking to the gentleman. What's your name?
I have come to set you free. I am the door. The Good Shepherd. The Almighty God. He hears you. And I'm waiting for you. So come.
Who's here?
And hear my priest. So come. She's screaming at him. We will not.
You must.
She is screaming her freaking brains out.
Alright, I'm gonna cut in here for a hot second. I don't wanna step on my friend Dan's toes here. But if you want to answer him, I'll be a little more straightforward.
I am
Can
here
someone else step forward and tell me about the lady who refuses to talk?
to set you free. Have come.
Alright, I don't do well with repeating. Give me a straightforward answer. Tell me about the lady who refuses to go. We'll do what we can to help you in any way, shape, fashion, or form that you need. But you've got to be willing to meet us halfway.
Come. He's just saying, come. This way. Come. Home. I am here for you. Come. I will set you free. I will bring you home. Please tell him to stop it.
Is this the girl?
I can't take this anymore.
Alright, well, you play ball with us, and we'll play ball with you, but you've got to come and meet us halfway first.
Help us.
That's what I'm trying to do. We're all here to help.
I hear you.
Okay.
Make him stop.
Well,
Please.
we will take care of him, but you have to talk to us first, and then we will work it out in the middle.
And the guy's like, no. That he the first time the guy said something in a while.
My name's Dave. This is Dan. That's Sean. So, we've introduced ourselves. Could you introduce yourself?
Is your name Maria?
Or Margaret?
I don't want to hear him. That's the girl. Make him stop.
Can you talk to us? Why are you so afraid of leaving? What are you waiting for?
This is our home.
It used to be.
I will not go.
You have to go. It's
I
time.
want you gone.
I know.
And I want him gone.
I know.
Especially him.
Not surprised.
Go. And she's screaming it. Go.
Does him have a name?
Who is he?
I am the Alpha and the Omega, the first and the last. I have come to set you free, to bring you home to life abundant. Leave this place, and I will give you life.
Excuse my ignorance in this, but does this sound like the same pitch that John would make?
It's not quite the
It
same
sounds
as John.
overly
It's-
formal.
Yeah, it's a little different.
I hear another voice, very low and slow. He's hard to hear.
Is John here?
I am your enemy, and I have come to take you away
Oh, that's
into
not
the
John.
darkness.
No. That's definitely not John. What's your name?
The heartbeat's coming back again.
You know, I get the sense that they either don't
I
know
am
they're dead or they're in complete denial.
here.
The little girl is for sure.
Mhm.
I'm gonna stop listening to that dude.
But now we have combating forces.
Once more, we've
And the girl's
something
saying,
on
no,
this.
no,
This
no,
this
no,
this
no,
all
no.
fits with the something on the inside, trying to stay away from the thing on the outside.
And there's something on the outside trying to get in.
So therefore, they're fighting for all it's worth not to go, and therefore hiding from whatever keeps coaxing them to come out.
The heartbeat's
I could
speeding
see
up.
where they would get leery
She's
of
screaming, "I am
passing
alive."
over if that's what they think's waiting
Did you
for
hear
them.
that? She's screaming.
I'm not
more.
dead. Don't you see me?
No, we don't see you, darling. I'm
I'm
sorry.
right here.
I'm sorry to tell you, you're not alive. That's why nobody can feel you or talk to you.
No,
I'm sorry.
no.
But there is hope. Lots of
She's
it.
screaming, no,
I know. It's not an easy
No.
thing to understand.
no.
But
I don't know what she just said there. Something weird.
go with the good man and stay away from the enemy. She's got herself a little delusional, man.
Can't you hear it?
No.
I'm
honey,
alive.
You're not alive. You're dead.
I am alive.
You're dead.
Don't you see me? I'm right here.
Where are you? If you're alive, you should be able to pick up anything on this table. Pick up something on the table and show it to me. Prove to yourself that you're alive.
Stop it.
He's totally in denial.
I'm not dead. I'm right here.
Honey, there's nothing we can tell you that is going to convince you. You have to come to terms with it.
I am right here.
It's almost heart-wrenching. You know.
Alright, this is where I would like to ask if any of this lady's kinfolk can step forward, friends, relatives, anything. But yeah, father, mother, brother, cousin, best friend, someone step forward, you know. Show her that she's not stuck here.
She's screaming, I'm not dead. I'm not. I'm right behind you. Come to me. Come to me. No. I'm not dead. Please.
Where's your mommy and daddy?
I'm not dead.
Where's your mommy and daddy?
Dude, this is kind of freaking me out.
Yeah, well.
Alright, I just had to make sure I'm okay. Just give me a minute. come to me.
I'm speaking to the little girl. Where's your mommy and daddy? How long did
I
that since
am
you've seen
behind you and in you, all around you. I am everything, even your darkness. I want you to come home.
And who is this?
You're
that's
free to do
speaking?
that anytime. Come to me now.
Yeah, who's speaking?
Who's speaking?
She's just crying, listening. She's like, I'm not dead. Now her voice is changing to mean and evil, and she's like, oh, I'm not dead. Now she's standing up and being adamant with this weird voice, I'm not dead. She's twisting and distorting.
Denial's not gonna help you any.
You're
just
just
make
trying to
you-
make
Oh,
yourself
gosh.
big, bad, and ugly looking.
Doesn't work.
I want you to go.
I know.
Leave me alone.
But you have to leave her alone. You have to leave this family alone.
Whoa, he's talking to me.
Alright. It's actually just what I was thinking.
He said, Sean, something about weapons. Put on the armor. This is a miracle, but it's not accomplishing what you hoped. The darkness is too deep. She will not go. She will not listen.
He's speaking sense finally. Not to be rude. That's the most sensible thing you said so far. So unfortunately, I think that, yeah, we're preaching a brick wall here. We're going to have to make her understand slowly but surely.
Amen.
So what do we need to do to get this family peace? What needs to happen?
God, when you burp, you can really hear it.
That's really spiritual.
I can't hear anything. I'm trying.
Here, give yourself a second to breathe. I know we just flustered the snot out of you, so take a second, breathe, come back to us. Talk to us peacefully. And then we'll...
The girl said leave.
If that wasn't part of my bargain, I just want to talk peacefully. Will you be willing to do that for 5 minutes? In case I forget to tell him, he's got a Ziploc bag stuck to his elbow. He's getting ready to lose it. So.
Whoa. Scared that crap out of me.
You need to take 5 to... Well, you need to take 5 to breathe for a second, man.
Yeah, dude, that's pretty intense.
Oh, it was totally weird from our perspective. You were answering questions like I was talking to you.
Really?
Oh, it was incredible. I mean, there for a while, it was just insane.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was like flat, yes.
Oh, we're sitting there talking to the little girl. She's in total.
Yeah, this chick, she started losing it, man.
So we're sitting there and we're talking to her, and I say, honey, you're dead. No, I'm not. Honey, you're dead. No, I'm not.
So who was you talking to?
We don't know.
I don't know who it was. There's a guy, and he's real passive. He's not real talkative dude, and he seemed like more of a defender type guy. The girl is
She
real
doesn't think she's
excitable.
dead.
Yeah, she obviously doesn't think she's dead.
She's entitled to know. That's tough, because if they don't know they're dead, that's tough. 'Cause they have this whole mentality.
That's
mean,
weird.
Yeah, it is kind of
It's weird.
I
I mean, we get that from time to time, but
Well, we were trying to get a feel for the dude that was talking. I say, because it's sometimes like he seemed kind of on point. Sometimes he seemed a little shady.
yeah,
I wasn't.
There was a dark one. I had to make sure I wasn't going to listen to him no more.
Okay, so there were two of them.
There's
and one,
definitely two of them. There was one that was the positive come to me kind of deal.
Okay, because I didn't want to start getting all feisty with the
And the other one came in.
lightning strikes, and I'm just like,
So if they don't know they're dead, how do you get rid of them? I mean,
got to kind of chip away at it, really. I mean,
Yeah.
it's if you can at least get them to come to an understanding,
She was so
and
defensive
then
about it.
I bet
get them
that's the
to-
same woman that we told y'all in that window
it
right
could be.
there.
That's the only thing that makes sense to me is that
Well, and we were asking, and you didn't catch this, but we were asking, why are you here? And he kept saying, because I live here.
Yeah, I
live
heard
here.
that too.
Because
Yeah.
I live here.
So was it a little girl too?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they've been seeing a little girl too. My neighbor over here asked my daughter-in-law, who is that little blonde-headed girl that Mary Alice keeps? I don't have no little blonde-headed girl. I don't have any girls.
so it doesn't seem like it's something that's man, I saw that thing over there spinning. I was like, I about jumped out my daggone pants. I was like, do you guys see that? And like a stupid duck flying over there.
No, what?
A little pinwheel thing. Anyway, it didn't seem like it was something. It seems like it thinks that it's alive,
Yeah.
but she didn't grab me. She
Well-
didn't do anything to me.
The only thing that was different than that, and I think it was the guy in the beginning, was saying that because we asked, why are you here? Why are you bothering her?
Uh-huh.
And he kept saying, I have something to discuss. I have something to communicate.
Oh, really?
And I kept trying to say, look, now's your chance. I mean, we can hear you loud and clear. If you have something to say it now.
Okay.
You're scaring this poor lady.
What'd he say? He didn't
They
respond?
didn't, we kept hearing, you need to leave, you need to leave.
That's the girl.
ideally, like I was just trying to get, hopefully the guys to back off long enough for her to calm down and to just to speak peacefully for
Yeah.
a few minutes, just to get
She
something
went nuts.
sensible other than "I'm not dead" to come
Yeah.
out of her mouth.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. No, yeah, I mean, every time you try to talk to her, do you know you're alive? I am alive.
Oh,
And then
really?
you start hearing the heartbeat. And it was like, man, she's got this whole thing going on. She's... And at one point, you said, you heard the heartbeat. And she was saying, don't you hear it? Don't you feel it? You know, I'm right behind you.
It's intelligent.
Did you say
It's intelligent.
they lived
Oh, yeah.
here?
That's what they said. They live
They say
here.
they live here now.
I live here. They live here.
And a lot of times that's what happens, especially if one's in denial. They probably lived here, died here, didn't know they're dead, so they still live here. To them, they don't know. They live in their own little dream world,
Oh, yeah.
essentially. I mean, they're living... That's why she's all confused, because we can hear her talk, so she knows that we're not in her imagination, but she doesn't understand why we can't see her. She's frustrated because I mean, she's alive, so why can't we see her? And we've had that before. That happens.
Yeah, I mean, we did the house blessing, and we got the response that the spirits or a spirit acknowledged it, so we know that, but we also don't know how many people are there, how many spirits are there. I mean, we know of two specifically. The girls picked up on a guy during their session. We picked up on a guy and a girl, and the girl was even being ministered to by what I believe was the father, literally telling her, listen, if you come to me, I'll give you life and all that kind of stuff, but she just doesn't want to accept the fact that she's dead. Now, on top of that, you do a house blessing. She is a human who has just as much free will as we do, and she's still on the property saying, this is my land. This is where I live. You know, what do you mean I'm dead? You know, to her, she sees me, and she was like, well, why aren't you seeing me?
Right.
You know, because I can see you. You know, all that kind of stuff. So, at the end of the day, if the blessing didn't do it, and the conversations with her didn't work. In time, maybe she can come around, especially if the homeowner continues to have, like, if instances happen in the house that she reiterates to the lady, hey, this is no longer your land, you've passed on, try to talk to her.
Right.
I think another thing that we need to be able to do is maybe play some praise and worship in her house, get things out that way. I mean, we don't know the full story. I don't know everything that there is to know about this property. We know that there's a history there. We know that she's sensitive. She can see and hear spirits very well. She gave us plenty of examples of her doing that. And she's able to see this kind of thing going on. Her neighbors even see it going on.
Right.
So we know for a fact it's definitely there. Now it's just a long-term process. It's not a just wave the magic wand and, export. It's not going to work like that, not for the spirit. So,
but you bring up a good point there at the end that, it's not always cut and dry. It's easy. There's a lot of investigation teams out there, and I think just about all of them will tell you anytime you're trying to get rid of spirits, sometimes it's easy. With demonic spirits, oddly enough, that's usually the easiest to deal with, as long as there's not extenuating circumstances around why it's there.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes it's not easy. I mean, we can't walk into a property ever at any given point in time and say we guarantee we can get rid of this.
Right.
I mean, it just doesn't work that way.
That's right.
And so, this is one of those cases where, I'm not saying it's going to be there forever, but it's something that, may take some time to work through.
Mm-hmm.
And it could possibly be a situation where, that girl will never leave. I mean,
we never know. I don't know.
we don't know.
Just don't know. I mean, we know what the right things to say, but at the end of the day, someone has a perception, and you can tell them the truth over and over and over again, and if they can't see it, I mean, our loved one could be standing right beside them, whispering in their ears, "I love you, you're dead, come with me,"
Right.
and she will not see it.
Right. Denial is not just
Denial.
in Egypt.
Hey, yeah, I mean, stupid. That hit me like a ton of bricks. Talk about perspective. That was funny. It's like paradigm shift. Oh, denial. Ah, I got it. Okay. But speaking of that conversation with the girl, that was our first experiment with, I don't know what we're going to call it, the absent ghost box session. I don't know what the right term for it is, but it's a ghost box session where you have, ear wax plugs in your ear and bulletproof earmuffs on your head, so you can't hear anything except for your own breathing. As a matter of fact, you have to kind of slow that breathing down so it doesn't, interfere. But it seemed, from what I saw, the responses were even better in that environment than it was with having a ghost box.
Right.
And it goes back to some of the things that we've been talking about. We haven't really put it online or anything yet, but people have a tendency to believe that the miracle's in the box. And it's really not. The miracle really is God working through people for a certain purpose.
Right.
It's nothing to do with you or me. It's way bigger than that. It's way bigger than that.
Right.
But anyway, I wanted to get your perspective. What did you think about that experiment and how well it worked out?
It was an amazing thing when you watch that video, to watch the interaction and how, with a ghost box, there has a tendency, when you're a viewer watching a YouTube video, a lot of times we cut out dead space. We cut out these times because sometimes in a conversation, and you don't want to put them through 2 minutes of me going.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
I mean, we cut it and we make it what it is through the miracle of video editing.
Mm-hmm.
To show the meat of the matter, but a lot of times those conversations can actually take 10 or 15 minutes.
Right.
We ask a question, and I may sit there and I may give it 2 minutes to respond because, for whatever reason,
there is a delay. I mean,
Yeah,
you have to, as a ghost box, you have to hear it and then process it as, do I need to speak now? Or, if they said a whole sentence, if you mistakenly say what you heard and you cut off half a sentence, when you say the answer, you miss the second half, and that's dangerous.
And that happens all the time.
Oh, yeah.
And, in those circumstances, we don't know, what kind of effort is on the spirit's part in having to do that, manipulate the spirit box for that purpose. So with that being said, in this case, we didn't have the delay. And so I'm asking questions, and he's immediately firing back responses.
Yeah.
And it was pretty amazing because, I was asking some pretty, detailed questions and was getting pretty detailed responses. You know, especially when the spirit began, you know, really starting to deny the fact that it was
Right.
dead. And I'm sitting here talking, and it literally was a conversation just like I was talking to somebody across the table. You know, I'm talking, they talk, I talk, they talk, I talk,
Wow,
they talk.
wow.
And you know, I mean, it was a point that I do not think that she knew she was dead. She made it clear that she didn't think
Yeah.
she was dead. She had no
Her
desire.
perspectives. Yeah.
And because of that, ironically, it made her more communicative, because to her, she was just talking to anybody else.
Right.
But to us, you know, it was frustrating because we're trying to get her to understand this is the scenario you're in.
Right,
She
right.
wasn't having it. So, I don't know. You know, I think we already have some more experiments
Oh, totally,
based
yeah.
around this that we're going to delve into a little bit more. So stay tuned for that, because this experiment is just getting started. So.
Yeah. I think the downside to it, though, is that you can't play back any audio of what was being heard. That's the downside, I think.
I think,
you know.
and this is for all our critics out there, and I know we have a bunch, and that's fine. Because first and foremost, when you criticize us and tell us that we're faking it, we love that.
We love
because
it, yeah.
We know we're not, so therefore you're validating
Yeah, you're
it. So,
validating it. It's like,
you
if
know,
the only explanation that it's a fraud,
we like
awesome.
that, yeah,
That's
because
perfect. It's like,
we-
yeah,
we-
because it's not.
we know we didn't make it up.
Right.
In this case, I think it's definitely open to that more, because, like you said, we don't have anything to play back. We can't
Yeah.
say,
Can you hear this? Did I hear that wrong? Right?
So,
It's all one-sided.
you know-
But the validation is knowing that I can't hear that, and if it truly is a seamless conversation that's occurring, then something significant's happening. Something scientific, we're showing it. You know, the accuracy of the responses, the timeliness of responses, you know, that's incredible.
I think probably, you know, in some of our future experiments, just like we did in the double blind, I think we're going to try to isolate and alienate. And,
Yeah,
and,
right. As much as possible.
And try to get into the scenario so that we can put the evidence out there and not have people say, oh, well, he could
Right.
really hear him. Or,
Right,
you know,
right, right.
Whatever.
Yeah, and like that's one of the reasons why when we do our process, the listener doesn't look at the questioner, because you can read the lips and you can tell, okay, I'm expecting to have a response at this particular point because something was asked. So even in that case, you know, luckily I don't lip read, but you know, I always try to keep my head down or my eyes closed or something like that. You know, because one of our critics had said, why do you close your eyes? Because if you had your eyes open, you'd be able to see orbs and all that kind of stuff floating around. And he doesn't realize that there's 3 other people,
Right.
you know, all
And
around,
cameras.
including the cameras,
Yeah.
who do have their eyes open.
I mean, 'cause you have to understand, in those sessions, normally we have a minimum of 2 cameras.
Right, you know.
So, and sometimes 3 or 4. You
Right.
know, it depends on the session, but so, you know.
The point of the listener is to isolate themselves completely from that outside world and move in and try to hear whatever's being spoken through the ghost box or whatever method. You know. So, and one last thing, this is something that we get all the time. People asking, you know, will you contact my grandmother and tell me where the treasure's buried in the backyard, kind of thing. And you got to understand that we do draw a line. We are ministers. We are doing something that we believe that God has led us to do. And that's helping the lost. Now, we believe that helping the lost, first and foremost, goes for the living, obviously, and then also for the dead. And that's why we choose certain words to speak to both sides. However, we don't consult the dead. We don't ask the dead for any advice whatsoever. It's not about that. We try to find what kind of spirit is it that we're dealing with, human or not.
Right.
If it's not a human, then we're going to deal with it that way. And then if it is human, then we're going to find out, well, where are they in that? Are they a malevolent spirit, good spirit, not a spirit that needs help? And then we address that. So we're trying to see, can we have a conversation? If we have that conversation, then we know this person has a free will to respond. And as a result, then we can minister the gospel of Jesus Christ. And maybe, through the grace of Jesus Christ and the resurrection power, that these people will be raised out of hell, or whatever state this is.
Right.
But we don't go to them and say, you know, you just don't. You don't consult the dead. You consult God and His Word. And people will say, well, you're not even supposed to even talk to the dead. The Bible never says that. It always talks about when you go in and read the cases of the people who did consult the dead, they have a long laundry list of all these other abominations that they were doing, but the root of the matter was is they hated God. They had nothing to do with God. If this was wrong, then the disciples and Christ had sinned, because they themselves spoke to demons, they spoke to the dead, they were scared to death of the dead, but at least the disciples were.
Yeah.
But, you know, so anyway, what are your thoughts on that one? Or any comments?
I think you pretty much hit it.
Okay.
Because I was thinking of the, you know, what you had said. You know, I think a question a lot of people have is, well, why do you do the investigations at all if that's the case? Well, we have to figure out what we're dealing with.
Right.
We have to know, are you non-human, or are you a human entity? You know, and you know, we get a lot. I mean, I hear a lot of people believe it's all demons.
Right.
And you know, I would challenge you with this. In that particular case, if everything that we are hearing is demonic, then they've got to be the dumbest demons on the face of the planet, because they're furthering the gospel of Jesus Christ. You know,
Right.
I mean, a demon's not going to fake salvation through Jesus Christ.
Because they would want you to go in the opposite direction.
Right. And so, what's happening, what we're seeing is, you know, we get testimonies all the time from people who are saying, "You've changed my life. I've accepted Christ because of watching your videos." Blah, blah, blah.
Right. They're finding out that the love of God is way bigger.
And so, in that particular scenario, it wouldn't make sense for demons to do that on any level. Two, and I know we've said in other videos, we'll say it here again. You know, something that we've actually heard is, well, why wait? Why then? Why not wait? Why not wait until after I die and then I can accept Christ?
That's insane.
In our case, in our circumstance, and I wanted to explain something that Sean said, because Sean said that first and foremost we're a ministry to the living, and there's a reason for that. Through this, we've learned that you know, what we believe is that the grace of Jesus Christ extends to anyone who has a free will.
Amen.
I believe that's biblical. You know, if we can determine that a ghost has free will, I don't see where that's not biblical. You know, everybody has their opinion, that's fine. But with that being said, it is like pulling a camel through the eye of a needle, to use Jesus' picture, because what happens is one of two things. Either a spirit gets into a situation where it believes that this is it, it's the authority.
Right. They believe what they see.
Right. They believe what we see, what they see, just like we do here, to
Right.
be honest. And what happens is that when that occurs, we come in and we start trying to tell them, you don't know what you're talking about. You know, to them,
We're wrong.
we're wrong. And so 9 times out of 10, you know, in those cases, they'll come to us and say, you know, I'm not listening to you. You don't know what
Where
you're
is this
talking
man Jesus?
Right. Two, though, is the second type of spirit, and probably more prevalent, to be honest, are the spirits who they just lost all hope, and they don't believe it. You know, they believe that they've basically been lost and condemned, and they can't be saved. And you know, no matter how much we try to minister, it never happens.
You see, it starts with that belief, just like with us. You know, salvation doesn't come first and then you believe.
Right.
You believe first, then the salvation.
Right.
And for them, it's a hard thing to do. You know, like the person who says, "Well, I'll accept Christ tomorrow."
Right.
In that realm, tomorrow never comes.
Right.
It's always now, just like it is right now for us.
Right.
Right now is right now. It's not yesterday. It's not 10 minutes ago. It's always now. Your existence, no matter what form it's going to be, forever is always now.
Right.
So if you say, "I'm going to accept Christ after I'm dead," you already believe. You're running from God.
Right.
And what we're saying is that He loves you enough. It's not a trick.
Right.
He loves you. You already believe. Accept Him. You know? And let God do the work in you. And just like in the Spirit, in an instant everything changes, it's the same thing in us. Once we truly believe and accept, then our life is changed and the light shines.
Right.
And we just see it. We see it time and time again. So anyway, well, cool. All right, so what we can do is just put all this together and get with her and show her that and put some of this stuff online.
All right.
All right, man.
One day they'll have dreams. One day they'll have dreams. One day they'll have secrets. One day they'll have dreams.
Hey, this is Sean Taylor with Supernatural Media. I hope that you enjoyed this video today, but more importantly is the message behind that. The entire time the Spirit was being ministered to, but the words that were spoken, I'm hoping that you can hear this message. So if you can, take a moment, click on this link over here, and read the words that are on the screen. God bless. Bye.